बहुत अच्छा है, इसमें क्लियर आता है, डिस्टर्ब भी नहीं होगा। आप पिक
ये और में है Kindly settle down. Requesting all of you to put your phone on silent mode. आप सभी लोगों से अनुरोध है कि कृपया अपने फोन को साइलेंट मोड या वाइब्रेशन मोड पे डाल दें। Please take your seats. You all are requested to take your seats, please. इंटरनेशनल सेंटर फॉर कल्चरल स्टडीज, भारतीय सांस्कृतिक वैश्विक केंद्र और शारदा यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से आप सब लोगों का मैं अरविंद शुक्ला हार्दिक स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूँ। ये कार्यक्रम सत्र जिसका टाइटल है शिफ्टिंग द लेंसेज अनडूइंग कॉलोनियल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर टुवर्ड्स ग्लोबल इंडिजिनस रिसर्जेंस, इस राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन के उद्घाटन सत्र में एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर विमर्श के लिए आज हम सब एकत्रित हुए हैं। यह विचार विमर्श केवल एक सैद्धांतिक अभ्यास न होकर एक समकालीन आवश्यकता की पूर्ति है, जिससे हमारे सामाजिक, सांस्कृतिक और ऐतिहासिक पहचान को पुनः स्थापित करने की दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है। कबीर साहब इसी विषय पर कुछ कहते हैं, हद करते सब गए, बेहद गया न कोई, अनहद के मैदान में रहा कबीरा सोए। इसका तात्पर्य है कि हम अपनी सीमाओं से, हर व्यक्ति अपनी अपनी सीमाओं से बंधा है, लेकिन असल सत्य को वो तब जान सकता है जब वो अपनी सीमाओं से पार जाने का प्रयास करता है। उसी सीमाओं के पार जाने का प्रयास ही ये कॉन्फ्रेंस, 2 दिवसीय कॉन्फ्रेंस जो कि इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के रूप में भी है, जिसपे कि 3 लोगों की सहभागिता है, इसी ओर एक छोटा सा प्रयास है। ये दौर एक वैश्वीकरण का दौर है, जिसमें स्वदेशी समुदायों के पुनर्जागरण का प्रश्न एक अत्यंतिक प्रासंगिक हो गया है। यह केवल सांस्कृतिक पुनर्स्थापन की प्रक्रिया नहीं, बल्कि सामाजिक और राजनीतिक सशक्तिकरण का एक महत्वपूर्ण अवसर भी है। हमें यह समझना होगा कि स्वदेशी ज्ञान प्रणालियां केवल पुरातन विरासत नहीं है, बल्कि वे समकालीन चुनौतियों के समाधान प्रदान करने की क्षमता भी रखती है। यह सम्मेलन में हम सभी का संकल्प यही है और यही लेकर हम आगे बढ़े हैं कि केवल निष्कर्षों का केवल सैद्धांतिक रूप से सीमित ना करें और नीति निर्माण, सामुदायिक भागीदारी के संदर्भ में इसका व्यवहारिक स्तर पर लागू करने का भी प्रयास करें। एक बार फिर से मैं आप सभी का इसी विचार विमर्श में सक्रिय भाग लेने हेतु आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं और आमंत्रित करता हूं दीप प्रज्वलन के कार्यक्रम में।
शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते त्वं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसु
कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए सरस्वती वंदना के लिए आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा प्रोफेसर बिंदा चौधरी, जो कि हारमोनियम में है, आप देख सकते हैं। उनके साथ गणपति वंदना में आशीष कुमार झा और शुभ्रो घोष रहते हैं। शुभ नयना करुणामय गौरी हर श्री वरद विनायक शुभ नयना करुणामय गौरी हर श्री वरद विनायक ओंकार अधिपति ओंकार अधिपति अधिपति सुखपति छंदपति गंधपति लीन निरंतर हो लीन निरंतर हो सूर्य निरागस हो सूर्य निरागस हो गणपति सूर्य निरागस हो मोरया मोरया गणपति बाप्पा मोरया 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 गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गजवदना तू दुख हरता गजवदना तू सुख करता गजवदना मोरया 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 गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गजवदना तू दुख हरता गजवदना तू सुख करता गजवदना मोरया मोरया सूर्य निरागस हो गणपति सूर्य निरागस हो Now, I would request our student Manya Dogra to come to the stage. She will be performing a Shiv Tandam Stotra, and the dance form is a Bharatnatyam. Shiva Shankara Parvati Ramanani Nage
परम वैष्णव मुनि
शारदा लगाओ तो शारदा भी है।
Thank you, Manya. Please give a big round of applause to our students.
विश्वेशलिङ्गमय कनिकरिञ्चरा
Now I am requesting all the dignitaries to kindly grace the dais. Professor Anviti Gupta is requested to kindly escort the guest to the dais. Thank you very much. Now I would request to our Professor Anviti Gupta, Dean, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, to give a welcome address.
सुप्रभात। ओम संगच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संभो मनानसी जानताम देवाभागम यथा पूर्वे संजना उपासते। ईश्वर से यही प्रार्थना करते हैं कि हम सब साथ चलें, साथ बोलें, हमारे मन एक हों। प्राचीन काल से हमारे देवता इसी आचरण का पालन करते हैं, इसीलिए वे सदैव वंदनीय रहे। मैं डॉक्टर अनविति गुप्ता, डीन स्कूल ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटीज एंड सोशल साइंसेज and convener of this two-day international conference on shifting the lens, undoing colonial infrastructure towards global indigenous resurgence, very warmly and heartily welcome you all to this two-day international conference. आप सभी का हृदय से हार्दिक अभिनंदन, स्वागत करती हूँ इस द्विदिवसीय उस परंपरा की तरफ हम ले जाना चाहते हैं जिसे हम कहीं शायद भूल आए हों, जिसे हमने कहीं बंद किताबों में समेट कर रख दिया। आज ग्लोबल क्राइसिस के टाइम पर हमें उन्हीं ट्रेडिशंस को, उनको सामने लेकर आना है और एक कमिटमेंट करनी है कि इसे लेकर आगे कैसे बढ़ना है। I very warmly welcome our honorable chief guest, Shri Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Minister of Minority Affairs, Government of India. Sir, thank you so very much for gracing the occasion. Guest of honor, Professor Dhananjay Ji, who is a Member Secretary of Indian Council for Social Science Research. Thank you, sir. I also welcome my Honorable Visionary Chancellor Sharda University, Shri P.K. Gupta Ji, to grace the occasion. My welcome goes to और मैं अभिनंदन करती हूँ डॉक्टर शशि बालाजी का, who is the president of ICCS, Professor Amar Jeevalochhan ji, who is the general secretary of ICCS, Professor Balram, who is the keynote speaker in today's conference, and he will be joining us online. I very warmly welcome all the delegates, the thought leaders, my elders, community leaders, distinguished guests, participants, delegates, dean, directors of Sharda University, my dear faculty members, and my dear students. It's with deep respect, humility, and hope I welcome you to this August gathering. Let us take a moment to honor the traditional custodians of our lands, past and present, whose enduring sovereignty reminds us that the work of decolonization is not metaphorical, but material, lived, and ongoing. This conference emerges from an urgent global need, a need to interrogate the very foundations of the systems that continue to marginalize indigenous communities while valorizing the infrastructure of coloniality, whether through practice, borders, policies, education system, or extractive economies. Colonial infrastructure have not only displaced and dispossessed, but also erased our indigenous epistemologies and ways of very being of ourselves. But we all gather here not only to be a critique, but we gather here to build, to dream, to remember, and to reimagine. We are gathered to amplify the voices of those who have never stopped resisting the colonization. We gather here to celebrate the indigenous resurgence in all its forms: political, cultural, ecological, spiritual, and intellectual. In these 2 days, we all will hear from indigenous knowledge holders, researchers, and allies from around the globe offering diverse perspectives. Their stories, researches, and visions will help us map paths towards a repair, restoration, resurgence of this indigenous culture, which is very much inherited in and embedded in our culture, tradition, and timeless traditions, especially of our Indian Sanatan Parampara. Let this conference be a space not only to critique, but to care. A space where solidarity becomes the strategy, where international boundaries dissolve in the shared pursuit of justice. On behalf of the organizing committee, on behalf of Sharda School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Bharatiya SANSKRITI VAISHVIK Kendra, on behalf of my Pro-Chancellor, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Sir, and on my personal behalf, I very warmly welcome you all to this 2 day international conference. Let us hear, let us share, and let us make a promise together that together we can and we will definitely bring pride to the country and we bring pride back to solve the global crisis. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Shashi Balaji, who is the president of ICCS. Dr. Shashi Bala is a renowned Indologist, recipient of the highest civilian state award, conferred by the President of Mongolia, and the Order of the Polar Star, President, International Center for Cultural Studies, Bharat, and many more laurels that the madam is holding. So, thank you very much, and I invite you to please introduce the theme of the conference.
Namaskar. It's a great honor for us to welcome the Honorable Minister Shri Kiran Rijiju, the Honorable Chancellor Sharda University Shri Pramod Gupta ji, Professor Dhananjay Singh ji, Member Secretary ICSSR, Professor Anviti Gupta ji, convener of this conference, Dr. Amarjit Lochanji, my colleague, and all the delegates, students, researchers, brothers and sisters. I stand here to extend a warm welcome to you all on behalf of ICCS. It's our great pleasure to have gathered here for a cause. The cause is exploring, understanding, explaining, internalizing the facts behind distortions, explaining the facts behind distortions, creating untrue narratives about native indigenous traditions who have preserved their distinct identities, distinct qualities, skills, philosophy of life to live as a part of the nature and the cosmos. People who originally belong to a land and a land that belongs to them, those people are called Adivasis. Whether it is America or Australia, Africa or Asian countries, they have developed their own culture over millennia in conformity with nature around them. We, the people of river cultures, believe in the concepts like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. There are many such slogans given by other countries like Mitakwe Oyasin. We are all one and I am because of you. In Sanskrit we say, Mata Bhumi Putro Aham Prithivya. When everybody is a child of this Mother Earth, then what is the difference? The cultures developed in deserts are destructive and exploitive, unlike river cultures. Today, in this conference, we focus on river cultures and those who have their own ritual scales, songs, dances, arts, crafts, values, beliefs, but they are declared as uncultured by the colonizers. They are not just ignored and demeaned, but invaded by Eurocentric cultures, imposing their own religions by the colonizers. The colonizers' philosophy of life focused on social stratification, capitalism, and individualism. They imposed exploitative colonial religions, practices that are deeply rooted in relation with nature and cosmos around them are disrupted. And that is why we are facing all these challenges related to nature today. And infrastructure is built through colonial narrative, vision, and mission. Our minds are polluted and enslaved. It needs to be decoded and re-evaluated for a fresh vision and action leading to resurgence of the world cultures to live happily. We have to understand that the world is interdependent, as it has been always said in Buddhism, the Buddhist philosophy. Especially today, when life is disrupted by terrorism and killing. The earth is shattered by bombs. A renaissance is required against centuries of exploitation, marginalization, erasing indigenous cultural identities. People have to realize that decolonizing the mind is a process of revitalizing indigenous cultural traditions as they are cosmocentric, spiritually oriented, environmentally conscious, devoid of greed, nature loving, and caring, not following the hegemony conducts. We all have to find ways and means to fight against this colonialism, especially the mind. It has been the focus of research, education, and other activities of ICCS. New educational programs are being approved by Indian universities, bringing it to the mainstream for the students and researchers from a variety of disciplines. Decolonization of mind needs qualitative research. Researchers and visionaries, thinkers and academicians and peacemakers are welcome to this conference to look deep within themselves and show a path to all of us with an open mind. Non-indigenous, mainstream people have come together to build a relationship with the indigenous through decolonizing the mind and nurturing goodwill. The colonized mind is to be changed from being me-centered to we-centered. Prisons of thought are to be broken. Community and cultural memories, rites and rituals, arts and architecture will be discussed here from Indonesia to the tribal cultures of Arunachal Pradesh. Sacred ecology is to be viewed through their own respective lenses. Epistemology from Indian Shastras to tribal knowledge will be discussed here. Issues will be raised from climate change to jurisprudence. The situation of Banjara community to the echoes of resilience of the Yazidi community, breaking the chains of linear history of civilizational awakening will help us understanding how we play in the hands of the politics of colonizers. The enterprise that we are taking collectively is for well-being and strengthening of all. The ideas and ideals that will be presented by visionaries and researchers here will be taken forward for actionable decision taking and drafting policies. Together, we look forward to such to decolonize the mind, to reawaken, reviving, understanding correctly, internalizing the facts and reclaiming. May there be no greed, no suffering, no wars, no exploitation of nature. Once again, the dignitaries invited to the conference are most welcome for their vision, the paper presenters for their contribution, online and offline both, and all the others from the Sharda University, from ICCS, and all other institutions who are involved directly or indirectly, they are all welcome to this conference. The faculty, the researchers, the students, the media personnel, the delegates, the volunteers, the organizing committee, everyone is welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Before we begin our felicitation ceremony, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Amarjeev Lochanji to introduce and speak to us.
Namaskar to all. It's a great pleasure to be here together. And before we introduce two of great speakers and the chief guest and guest of honor, I would also like to say a little bit about ICCS, how it has flourished in the last 30 years. And those who have nurtured, they're all here. I may take permission from you all to have some words about them also. I'm very grateful to see Shyam Pandeyji. He has been looking after us from the beginning, Shyam Pandeyji. He has been in Seva International. ICCS programs are his brainchild. Yashwant Patakji in USA is not here today. And I can see among us, some of them have worked so hard from the beginning. I can see Rajkumar Bhatia ji. See, he has been also part of Sri Vishnu Niketan, nurturing us. Professor P.B. Shinde, Vashant Shinde ji, Vice Chancellor and also now the head of the project of National International Maritime Museum done in Gujarat at Lothal. ICCS has nurtured itself by having big connections in the Buddhist sector of the world history and scenario. And Ashish Bhaviji is here. I respectfully remember you. Rewatch has been watched by all of us all the time. And rewatch is not complete without mentioning Yoram Begiji, Namaskar, for coming and helping and blessing us. Vijayji, Ramaswamiji have been there all the time from that. And Nanduji, our Vice President of ICCS. Some of the names may be forgotten by me, but these all are the pillars that make us to be here to discuss about shaping of the lens which has been taught and ideas given by our founder Yashwanji in USA. With these words, I am very grateful to see that two stalwarts are here. I start with our guest of honor, Dr. Professor Dhananjay Singh. Dhananjay Singh ji has been a truly son of the soil in the sense that he graduated as a young 18-year-old boy in Arunachal Pradesh at Arunachal University. And he also did masters there. From there, he came to my university at different places. And then finally, he was put up in a great work to do at JNU. And he has been connected with cultural studies from the day one. That makes him not only one of the most important social scientists in the country, as heading the Ministry of HRD and Ministry of Education for ICSSR, Social Science Research. And he has published a lot of volumes related to cultural studies. That's why Dhananjay ji, you belong to us, has been very great help to us in many projects and all. And Dhananjay ji has been also looking into the aspect of understanding intercultural relationship among social scientists, and he's also supporting many big projects in this regard. Myself, Amarjeev, teaching at University of Delhi, History Department. That is not a big deal to be here. I am working as General Secretary of ICCS, and it's great honor to have my own alma mater, alumni friend, Shri Kiran Rijijuji, to be the chief guest. Kiran Rijijuji needs no introduction, but his development and growth in the field of understanding the Indian scenario at those days, when the 2004, when we didn't have anything in the government, he was the first member of parliament representing us in the parliament, and he was just merely 31, if I'm right. He was 31-year-old. He was student in Hansalas College. I was very nearby in that Hansalas College, and then he was a great activist in law center. So I have seen him shooting up like a great star in the field of understanding that land. Kiran Rijiju is one of the most glorious. I was a history teacher. I was always looking at the history. I could not find more than 3 ministers in the entire history of Indian democracy of post-independence who have honored so many ministries, so many ministries. In fact, sometimes I get confused. Today, where is he? He has served Earth Sciences, he has served Ayurveda, Ayush. Well, has been giving a permanent mark everywhere. Now, as a minister at Parliamentary Affairs, he is doing marvelous job. He's giving a big lesson to all of us to how to understand, how to administer. These qualities make me very proud personally. I know him for last 15 years, continuously visiting him, and that's a great pleasure for him and me to see that ICCS grows up. Rewatch, which he talked about in the beginning. Rewatch was also inaugurated in the new building 2016 in Arunachal Pradesh by him, and he is very deeply connected with our ICCS flag major project of Rewatch, which is now, with his kind grace, will become university very soon. Jerome Begiji, your work is so important. And next to Jerome Begiji, our chief secretary. How can I forget your contribution in helping us in these ICCS and other Rewatch activities? I respectfully request the host to grace us by giving the honor to our speakers today. So, guest of honor, first of all, please. And
Thank you, sir. So I would request Dr. Shashi Balaji to kindly felicitate our chief guest, Honorable Minister Kiran ji. Please give a big round of applause. Now, I would request Dean, Professor Anviti ji, to kindly felicitate Dr. Dhananjay. Now, I would request Nitin ji to kindly come forward and felicitate our Chancellor, Honorable Chancellor, Sharda University.
Nitin ji is not only a Ayurvedist and doctor, he's also president of Delhi unit of ICCS.
Hariom sir, you are requested, who is our associated dean, you are requested to kindly come over the dais. Please felicitate to Dr. Amarjeet. Dr. Vivekji is requested to come forward and kindly felicitate to our Dean, Dr. Anviti Gupta. Thank you everyone. Prashant sir is requested to come forward to the dais and felicitate to the President ICCS, Dr. Shashi Balaji. Okay, thank you everyone. Now we have to listen to Dr. Balram ji, and he will be delivering a keynote address to us. Dr. Balram ji, and Dr. Balram has joined us through online mode.
Professor Balram Singh ji is a great doyen in the field of subject humanities and social sciences. He is based at USA, Dartmouth, and he may be having very late evening for him. Is he connected now? Professor Balram Singh ji there?
I think I'm here. Thank you. Please let me know if I need to start.
Sir, you are connected. Please start. We can hear you and we can see you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going to use some slides to make my points. Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I decided to say something about colonized mind and the causes and cures, which is the topic of today's program. And I want to just, I'm a scientist, so I like to use some scientific ideas. So here is the colony of bacteria. We see this, what do colonizers do? The colonizers, this is a bacteria here, bacterial culture, and it's in the colony. There are a lot of colonies of bacteria. What do? They take over. So the colonizers, they take over the territory, they introduce their culture, they change the language, change the dress, change the food, take away their wealth. That's what the colonizers normally do. I have some personal experience understanding where the colonizers come from. Normally they were the kind of bad elements in the society, even in the UK. I mean, everybody was not a colonizer, but they made arrangements. Even Columbus was a colonizer. Christopher Columbus, who was looking for India, fortunately did not get there. He got in the United States or in America, and this is the colonies that they had. 13 colonies when they had United States was there. Of course, the British got there after Columbus, and they made the colonies. And what is the colonized mind? Well, you have the socio-economic and political system of colonizers, propagate and justify that it isn't happening in India also. And they're normally very lethargic to think about their own. They just continue, like what we are doing right now in India. I will try to make some of these points a little more clear. So, the idea of Trinity comes from Bible. The idea of Trinity, and their God is beyond anybody. They have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They're the Trinities. And what they do in Hindu system also they have Trinity. We have Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. But then their system, governance, is that of not Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, but is that of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. The Father is the one who, the God, the one who punishes people. That's normally executive branch. And the legislature and judiciary is the Son. And people are Holy Spirit. People are the most powerful, but they have to go through the judiciary and legislature. And that's their system that they have created. In case of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, of course, they take care of things. Vishnu is the preserver, and Brahma is the creator. And so anybody who is a creator, for example, Brahma is known as Prajapati. And so there are Kumhars, or the potters are known as Prajapati. So the creators are very, very important. Destroyer is not exactly destroyer. Here, the Patnaik has written destroyer, but Shiva is of the physical world where things disappear. So the Trinity of Hindus and Trinity of Bible are different in terms of their roles, but the government system that we have even today is that of the Bible Trinity. We do not have the Prajatantra, for example, according to Hindus, where even Ram had to listen to the Praja, and that's very different kind of system. So a system that we have, the Prajatantra, was supposed to dissolve all the differences by acting. If I'm acting in certain way, everybody believes, for example, Ram was the Raghupuri Sadacharya Pravajai Parvachandra. That was his conduct. He kept that value. The whole Ram Raj had, whether it was Sita, whether it was Lakshman, or the whole the people of Ayodhya, they followed based on their conduct. But in case of democracy, it divides. Conduct is the least thing that they have. They have rules and they have regulations, they have judiciary, they have parliament, and they ultimately divide people. And here, giving an example of Hindu, Muslim, Christian as an example. So the more they can divide, the better it is. That's what the democracy is. Mahatma Gandhi himself said, "We must be the change we wish to see." And Einstein said the same thing. Example isn't another way to teach. It is the only way. So when you conduct like Bhagwan Ram did, then everybody understood that he is still so revered because of that. Then the system of that of Praja. Praja is someone who is created. Praja basically means somebody who is intensely created. So if you have say a system of creativity, then you will have everybody valued, and then they will have their own independence as they had in case of Ram Raj. Now they change the dress, I said, Sari, I wanted to just say something scientific again about Sari. They have actually published paper on Sari in their Architectural Science Review Journal, in which they are talking about how versatile a Sari is. It's engineering, almost like somebody who made an engineer. You can change your saris the way you wear it, and then in different seasons, and it will act differently or help you differently. Now, interestingly, I have been involved in training teachers in America about India, and as you can see here, they love to dress in saris, and of course, I also dress up in my traditional dress of dhoti and kurta. It's becoming very popular. Now, I want to talk about colonizers beyond the dress, beyond the political system. I'm talking about science. So, Portuguese, they're colonizers in India, and there is this professor, Timothy Walker, who's a historian, is talking about starting colonial pharmacies, commerce in South Asian indigenous medicine from the native sources. They basically copied Ayurvedic medicine, but they were hiding, they were not telling it to anybody. They just will not tell that their system is not good. But then the Portuguese are the ones who the colonizers brought the indigenous ideas of medicine and Ayurveda, and actually they made it very popular and sold in the Western world. They made so much money that they actually colonized Brazil. Brazil is the only country where there is in America that speaks Portuguese. So they did that when Indian scientists started talking about India's traditional medicine in the rest of the world. They were criticizing it. Oh, no, there is no genomics. There is no something. They said it is exotic quest. So India has had all these things, and its economics was until British colonizers came. India was one of the two very rich countries in the other one, China. The interesting thing is, in the colonialism in Indian mindset, this is the mindset, is translated as Vaishvar, Upanivaishvar. It sounds like the kind of Upanishad. Actually, the exact meaning is Upanivesh means somebody who makes investment. But it's never made investments in India. They stole $43 trillion. But our colonized mind today, even today, talking about Sanskrit people who have not been able to find a proper word for it. I come from a village. In my introduction, you were saying I also come from a village near Ayodhya, actually. And we would like to say the colonies are like Tolia in my village. They're known as Tolia, like Toli. So colonialism would not be Upanivesvad, it will be Tolia Khori. If I had to give a translation, it will call it Tolia Khori. We really need to mind our attitude towards colonial past, otherwise we will continue to do that. It is. So now the other thing that we have, and we will not spend a whole lot of time here, but I want to just say the university that we call the university like Sharda University, Colonial University, or Delhi University. University's word is called body corporate. It was corporation when it was created. College is a group of partners. We don't even understand that, what it does mean, some kind of corporation. And we have all these other things in the system, even in India. Now that we have administrators called visitors, president, chancellor, vice chancellor, provost, rector, dean. Up between chancellor, vice chancellor, provost, rector, dean, these are all church terminology. These are all terminology in the Bible. They are not Indian terminologies at all. I don't have time, obviously, to go into detail. But for example, I can tell you, provost means jailer. It gives punishment to people. And those of us who deal with, of course, these days in the universities, we know that. Of course, they make the board of trustees, board of governors, all that other kind of stuff. It's all really a system from the church that has come. And then you have everybody else dealing with it. Now, the universitas meant the whole or totality. Hence, in English, it means that the group of people, it meant group of people who have banded together to act together. Like I said, they form corporation, collectivity. That's what it means in Latin. On the contrary, what we have like Gurukul or Kulpati, for example, that means total, all of it. It's borrowed from Arabic a bit. This is really dictionary. Arabic probably borrowed from India, but in any case, it means the total thing. Community, kinship, the group, lineage, dynasty, large group. So you have a Gurukul, or you have a Kulpati, you have a Kuluriti. It's very different than the corporation that university means. And the universities where, as you can see here, various universities were developed under the aegis of Latin Church by Papal, which is like, they give orders. Or the scholars occasionally call the University of Al-Qaeda, I don't know how to pronounce it, AROEG, something, founded in the mosque. University of Oxford. It's really, I've been there, my son-in-law teaching there. And they have church in every college. Every college has church. I went there to see it. So, an important idea in the definition of university, academic freedom. The first documentary evidence of this comes from the early in the life of University of Bologna, which is also created by church. So, the system of education that we are dealing with is all colonized mind. On the other hand, the Gurukula system from Vedic time is the interaction between the guru and the disciples. And that system had been there for a very, very long time. India had been very, very successful in the ancient time, at least, in its education. But this Gurukula system was challenged when the book revolution came. The book came when people started reading the book or teaching from the book. And there are people of the book are known as the Abrahamic tradition. So they always use books to indoctrinate, not acharyas. We have acharyas, but we don't have that in the university system. We have professors, and they teach from the book, and everybody has to follow the book. So there is a great contrast between the education system, the Gurukula system, or the university system. Now, Nalanda University, an example, is a university. Nalanda University used to be Bihar. It used to be Bihar where gurus and Sishyas, they used to study, but it had been made to be a university. India claims to have the earliest university, Nalanda or Taxila. But they're talking about university when they were really Gurukulas. So there is a huge difference between university and Gurukula, and this colonized mind of talking about us having the universities is very different. And so they have Nalanda Mahavihara. I gave a talk 2 months ago in there. They do have it on the side, but that's just like, a leftover. The main university, where Vijay Bharat used to be the chancellor, I think. And I think he may have changed by now. But it's like more importance is given to the university system, not the Mahavihara. Interestingly, in 2016, Indonesia, Australia, Laos, Thailand, China, Singapore, Japan gave money to Nalanda because Nalanda used to be a place of learning in ancient times, and they still remember. So this already got international flavor, but India has not done at all well with that. They have not been able to do well because the system is different. The colonized system of university is very different than the Mahavihara or Gurukulas. Now I want to show you this latest thing that is happening in India. I'm sorry, I don't mean to criticize anybody, but I'm asked to speak about the colonized mind, so I thought I will talk a little bit about it. Here is system in NEP 2020, saying that whenever possible, the medium of instruction until at least grade 5, but preferably till grade 8 and beyond, will be in the mother tongue. I have a school in my village, which is 12th grade, CBSE approved. I started trying to teach it in Hindi. The parents were not interested because that you are living in America, you have everything in English, and you are trying to teach our kids in Hindi. So I had to, the medium was change to English. Why? Another mentality I want to say, here is from the NEP 2020, that says national repository of high quality resources of foundational literacy and numeracy will be made available on the digital infrastructure, and they call it a Diksha. Diksha word comes in India in Sanskrit from Dutch, from Dakshata, somebody who is the expert in it. And they used to be Dutch, but now we have Diksha word coming from English, digital, and you're thinking that you're bringing Sanskrit words from English, and you think the kids are going to study in their local language, that they know that everything is coming from English. Same thing about Swayam. Study webs of active learning for young aspiring mind. That's Swayam. So Swayam that we know self is based Swayam, our own system versus whatever this is talked about here. So this really gives the sense of how the public and especially young minds will feel, because we are so anglicized, colonized, that we are trying to create even our own system under their umbrella. Now I want to talk about this because there is an opportunity. The education system, even in the Western world, this is in America, and this report is up for 2014. They are saying the future of American education system is in big trouble because of variety of regions where I think the Indian system of 1:1, because they talk about what should be the ratio, the best ratio is 1:1 and guru and system. So there is a huge opportunity, but we have really not taken that opportunity. Here the future of education is going to be an AI-powered transformation. Increased personalization, this is interestingly. Increased personalization in AI. That means the same thing Guru Shishya situation. Greater focus on experiential learning. Again, it comes out of the Guru Shishya, not from the book. The rise of blended learning, which is, of course, the development of new roles for educators. We have to, and you will find that, I will give a couple of examples that become very popular because I bring a new way of teaching. Even I'm teaching some course in JNU where I'm practicing some of this. So this is what the future, and what we have is a university system have from the colonized mind. So the future of college is online. This is another report into 2020, and this thing is big money. That's $10 trillion global education market. So even if nothing else, I think India should, with this population of young people, educated people, that think about bringing education to the rest of the world. That is one way to decolonize ourselves, because we bring our system to everybody. Now, in Indian system, mother is the first guru. She introduces the father. Father is the next guru who expands the horizon of and introduces the child to the Acharya. Acharya as the final guru, ultimate knowledge. Acharya is important. He's not a professor. He's Acharya means through acharan, through conduct. Introduces the Brahma, means the whole universe for the child to explore. This is very different when you have Acharya and Guru, professor versus Upadhyaya. Upadhyaya means somebody who teaches, teach reading somewhere. Or teacher or Shiksha. Shiksha means you also learn as you teach. This has a huge implications to language, mathematics, astronomy, surgery, Ayurveda, material science, weapons and engineering that have been in the ancient India by using this kind of method. I already told etymology of Kul, so Kul is very, very important. Now, I said mothers are the first guru. In Manusmriti says, Yatra Narya Se Pujante Ramante Tatra Devata. That means the the women are so highly placed, but it is not automatic. It is a responsibility. They have to be so high. Yet narias, it's not been so high so that they are worshipped, like mothers, when they teach. That's what is very important. Not just being a woman is not enough. You have to be worshipable. You should be worshipped because you are giving knowledge. And the next one from Manusmriti is Upadhyayan Dasacharya Acharyanam Satam Pita. So Upadhyaya, I just said like somebody who teaches from studies, he studies books and then teaches. So 10 of those are equivalent to one Acharya, and 100 Acharya are equal to one father, and 1,000 fathers are equal to one Mata. So that is where the Trinarius comes. So we need to understand the value of our own to be able to counter the colonized education system that we have. I just wanted to say, I'm not trying to suck up to women and mothers. This is based on neuroscience. They have found in neuroscience that mothers or women in general are 5 times faster than men. The different tasks carrying out their brain is so much better, 5 times better. This was research done in the Brain Science Center at the medical center. So when I said that 1,000 times, 1,000 others are equivalent to one mother in education, that's what it means, because they can do it. So that rule has come back. I created a model in 2014. I published a paper in education under Maureen Hall, where you had body, you had mind, you had learn all those kind of things. Oops. Somebody is calling maybe. Hello.
Yes, we are here.
I think Professor Sachibala was trying to call me. My mistake, hopefully not. Please call me. If my time is over, please let me know. Somebody can just help me. So anyway, what I'm trying to say, there is a brain and feelings and all that is really happening because of the realization and when you conduct it yourself. I'm just going to skip a few things because I'm not very sure. But please, somebody tell me my time is over because I think I got a call from.
Yes, sir. Your time is up, so kindly wind up.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Can you please summarize? Your time is up, so we are running short of time. So if you could wind up.
Okay. I will do. Thank you. Anyway, what I'm saying is that these things, Indian things, are becoming popular outside. Yoga is becoming popular in outside. People are learning the Indian system, and as a future, I want to say that India is the way it is because of its geography, and I will not explain here because I think I've been asked to summarize. And I just want to tell you one thing, that Indian Constitution gives the scientific temper as a duty of every citizen. The whole world has been populated from Indian culture, from Manusya Rupa, and from science, genetics. They say that the rest of the world has been populated from India about 65,000 years ago. 65,000 is not 5,000 years that we are worried about. And so we have Indian system creates this Vesti and Samasti, system and surrounding it, Pindita Brahmande. But with that, they create, because everybody is part of Indian culture, they talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And there are world orders created. Unless we create a world order according to us, then Henry Kissinger or Noam Chomsky, they create their own world orders. And we have the democratic world order that have been created, I talked about a little bit. But we have to create yoga and Ayurveda world order, because that is the very different kind of knowledge system. And then we have to create this world order based on Ramatva, or Ram, where you have to keep your word, think of caring about others, and Praja. You have to give the importance of native Praja to be able to do this. And that is the way to do, and what the way to do that would be, and this is, I think, my last slide. So you have karma gati, where you have dharma, Indic or Hindu, creative ones. There are people who are creative, which is known as Sudras or Praja, and then they have managing people who do business. They are known as, I said, the justice system is the seekers and political, and then educators are the teachers, the scholars. And this, unless you bring this back in the prominence, it will not be possible to do. And the way you do that, you have to be cartoonist, you have to be, you have to do your duty, your daitto, and you have to be very karmati. You have to be industrious or utami, and then you have to be agyakari in the system of the elder ones. And this is based on satya, rit, and dharma and karma. And this is Indian philosophy. When we bring this kind of things, then we will be able to bring decolonize our minds through education system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your erudite lecture, sir. We have been benefited. So thank you for sharing your insights with us. Thank you so very much. So now I would like to call upon our Honorable Chancellor, Shri P.K. Gupta ji, to address us.
नमस्कार। और मैं सबसे पहले आईसीएस को बधाई देना चाहूँगा कि उन्होंने शारदा को अपना वेन्यू बनाया, और स्पेशली जिनको हमारे यहाँ बालाजी को, बाकी सारे लोग जी को, सबको